All right, let's get back to your guys' story. So I know you spent some time working in the church, and then you abandoned all faith and love and family and decided to just go into greedy money making. So let's get into that story today here on A Better Life. A more sinful life with Lexi and Cam. You guys met in like high school, right?
We
Even
met
earlier than
second
that.
grade,
No
first
way.
grade, yeah.
Cute.
Tell our love story.
Do you remember
babe.
his pickup line in second grade? Was like, "Can I use that crayon?"
Yeah, no. So
Can you help me get this crayon unstuck from my nose?
Yeah,
Was that something like that?
exactly.
He seems like the type that would
Tell
shove a
the
crayon
story
up his
about my
nose.
dad.
Oh boy. Okay. So his dad was my pastor growing up. I went to their church. Our families were friends. We were in the same friend group. And his dad brought me into his office one Sunday and said, I have 4 boys, and I would like our families to be intertwined through marriage at some point.
Her parents are
This
rich.
truly happened. This truly happened. He laid out all 4 boys. He said, I've got Carson. He is the Marion type. I've got Cameron. He's just for fun. And I've got Cooper and Connor. They're a little bit younger, but like they're not much younger, and they all go to the same school as you. So tell me which one you're most interested in so I can be praying in the right way. This actually happened.
He was
And
joking. That sounds really weird for the normal person.
Yeah, but
So it's
you guys
all a
did get
joke.
married.
We truly did get married. And guess who I picked in that moment, though?
Was
it me?
This guy.
Of course.
This
I've
guy.
always been a 10.
I was, yes. I guess he had me at fun. I don't know, but
sorry, I shouldn't
Wow.
have
in that moment, yeah. So we
That's a
we
cool
go way
story.
back. It really is. It might sound creepy in a way, but it wasn't. He was, yeah. I picked Cam at 10 years old, or I don't know.
yeah, it's probably
Maybe
10
I was
years
a little
old.
So
older
here's a
than
question.
10.
Would you have picked Cam had you not visioned it out that day, right? If you had
Oh
picked another
my
brother,
gosh.
could you have been that brother? Right now, sitting on this couch here in Hawaii, would you be with another brother? Right? Like, how much did saying that out loud
Right.
guide that later on in life? I don't know.
He asked the question. I verbalized it.
Yep, and
Yes, it's
it-
Cameron. And then it happened.
Yeah.
You're on to something.
You're skipping a part of going to prom with my brother your sophomore year.
I
of high
wasn't going to
school.
talk about that.
They did not kiss, I hope. If they did.
No, I promise. That
okay,
did
so
not
we
happen.
Are we getting an exclusive right now?
Yeah,
Are we
but,
finding some new information?
Yeah, I think we need to
My
have this
first
conversation deeper.
confession.
Lexi, earmuffs, Cam. Lexi,
I'll
Between-
walk
just
off this,
between us.
I'll walk off this podcast
just
right
between
now.
us. Was there a little kiss?
No,
Maybe like a little
no,
like
no,
was this
no,
a hand-
no,
hand
no.
hold- a little close
And
bumping and
honestly,
grinding on the dance
thank
floor.
God.
We were
No.
texting
Okay,
the
all
We
entire
were
time.
awkward. We
Oh,
were so awkward. It
okay.
wasn't anything but
Lexi wanted to go
Getting
to
into
prom,
prom.
and she couldn't get to prom without, because I was at a different school at the time.
right.
Yeah.
No, I also
so you
was
used my
a.
brother to get to prom. That's messed up.
That is,
Now
I
I'm
take
hurt.
that. I fully accept that. That
Wow.
was messed up. I was a sophomore. I couldn't get into prom without a date. All my friends were going. So
And we
yeah.
we were talking at the time too. I remember we were texting all night that night.
I don't
is
know
weird.
about that.
Wow.
I don't know about
But-
that. Anyway.
How old are you
I
guys?
ended up
We didn't
with
even have phones in high school, so you guys are way younger than me.
30. We're both 31.
Okay, yeah, 7 years,
I'm
6 years
30?
younger.
One.
Oh.
30?
No, your birthday was February 7th. You're 31. Don't lie.
Ouch, how's that-
Don't lie.
how's that
People
feel?
could Google you and find that out.
I've known you guys a few months. This is the first time that Cam has been
Yeah, he just
like
bested
on
Lexi. Yeah.
it, and Lexi has been wrong.
Lexi's-
Yeah, usually it's me
Usually I'm
busting
like,
him.
she runs the entire operation and he is
31.
beautiful.
31. Well, I just
He's the beauty, I'm the brains, right?
Yeah, we can go with that.
okay. I'll take it. I will take that.
Has that always been the case, or is that just the last few years?
You're the brain.
I'm not the beauty.
Is she the brains and the beauty, and you're the
She
fun?
is. I am there for comedic relief
Okay.
most of the time.
I like the comedic relief.
Yes.
It's a valuable role to play.
It really is. I 100% believe that. So
Okay, so you guys eventually got married.
So we got
We did.
Okay.
We got married. I had just turned 21 and
Okay.
she had just turned 20.
20.
So like just turned 20. And what was that? 10 coming up on 11 years ago. And we packed up the week we got married and we moved to Colorado. So this was in 2012 and I finished up school at Colorado Christian University and we lived in Colorado for what, 8 years or
8
so?
years?
Yeah. 8 years.
8 years?
You worked at a church then.
Yeah, so I graduated from Colorado Christian University. I did the missionary gig, which was basically leading mission trips. From that, I started working at an incredible church in Colorado. Absolutely loved the church, yeah, got to do that. I did multiple roles there.
So rolling in six figures there for sure.
Oh man!
For sure. Wait till you hear what I was doing.
250. Yeah, I was bringing in at least 200. That 250,000 was my lowest year. So
whatever. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, divide that by
$250 a month might be more accurate.
That's more like it.
Yeah, definitely closer. All right.
So that's what I did, and then
I worked at a barbershop, and I absolutely loved it. I cut hair.
Do you still cut hair?
I do.
She was the best barber in Denver.
Yeah,
Why are we going to Phyllis? I mean, we love Phyllis.
She won.
Shout out to Phyllis.
We love Phyllis.
We love Phyllis.
She was like Colorado's barber of the year.
Oh yeah,
Really?
some straight edge shaves. Oh yeah.
No way.
Oh, they're so
Legit.
fun.
Do you cut his hair now?
I do. Yes.
But Lexi can come to us. Phyllis isn't going to come to us.
That's one of our
She won't come to us.
Yeah, you could come to
Not
us.
yet.
I could.
One of our
yes.
biggest
If we were doing it
fights,
together,
though-
she probably would come together. Like if it was like one after another.
Two
Dude,
for
we just
one
came up
deal?
with a real.
Same
We're
place?
batching it.
Batching.
Like, I mean, like not like bacheloring it,
This
but
is-
like we're
we're
batching
batching it.
our haircuts
This
together.
is called
Okay.
economies of scale.
Yes, that's what that is.
Scale.
Awesome.
No joke though. Some of our biggest fights have came when she's cutting my hair because I'm like, you're not giving me the same service you'd give somebody else. Like,
Oh, yeah,
you're not-
100%.
Like she's like,
Yes.
just turn your
shut
head this
up.
way.
Yeah, no.
Shut
Like,
up. I'm
come
gonna
on,
do this. And I'm
Cam.
like, no, give me the. Well, we're not gonna get into it right now. But
Wait, no, actually, I do want to get into that because I have this whole thing. I have this whole thing about like, you go to a restaurant where you know the owner or you know the waiter or whatever the case, the waitress. And so, like, should the people you know give you, like, should you wait when it's really busy because they say, well, they're my friends, so they'll wait and still give me a tip? Or should you get better service because you're friends and it's like,
when it's your wife, I think you should get better service.
really? You don't think you should get the leftovers
you
from her
don't
day?
tip
I do
me.
get the leftover.
What do you think? What do you think, Lexi?
Ooh, yeah. If you're not tipping her,
You didn't
I mean, I
tip
do.
me.
I try to.
sex doesn't count, man.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not a tip. All right.
Yeah.
Don't pull that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Do you know Heather actually cut my hair up until I met Phyllis? Actually, when
I
we
think I
moved
did
here.
know
No
that.
way.
I think
Yeah,
we've
Heather.
talked about
Lexi
that
can cut
before.
your guys' hair. We've got all of the stuff. She's got like.
I do
I'm
know
also
that.
not tipping.
Yeah, but we
Oh,
like,
then
we like Phyllis.
I don't
though.
know about that.
Phyllis is good.
Phyllis
but,
is great, yeah.
No, you
now
should go
I-
to Phyllis because then you get the whole experience. If I
the-
come, it's just in the kitchen, and
Yeah.
you know, it's not the
Well,
whole thing.
but I
it could
love
be
about-
quicker.
You need the big chair. You need the beer that they serve.
The thing you don't
need
get
to
from
be able to
barbers,
get
though.
the shampoo.
Does she sit in your lap while she's cutting your hair ever?
No.
Oh,
is
it's
that
the
a
best.
thing?
No, it's a thing. Heather will like, she's like, getting my hair. So she just come and like sit down on my lap. And I'm like, this should be a thing in the world where like you go and get your hair cut
Right.
and your wife will sit in your lap while cutting your hair.
Yeah,
It's
you've
it's
never
the
done
best
that before.
haircut thing in the
Oh
world.
yeah.
That would
sorry
creep
about
me
that.
out.
No, it's
so
the greatest
bad.
thing in the world. I wouldn't want anybody else doing it to me, but having your wife cut your hair, it's a very intimate moment.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We
I'm a big fan.
typically the
I'm
fight
glad you had
happens.
that moment. We have
happens
not
before
had that moment.
Yeah.
I want to encourage you next time you're cutting his hair.
Uh-huh.
It's just a
Okay.
better angle. That's what
I've
it is.
gotten,
Yeah.
but I've
No, you
gotten
gotta
way
see.
less picky.
Yeah.
Where now it's just like just get it over. You can see
yeah.
with my hair now. It's like just
Your hair looks good.
In
I
and
like
out.
it. I'm a little jealous.
thank you,
Yeah,
thank you. I
okay.
will take that.
So you we'll go from haircuts to you got into real estate. How'd that happen? Let's go into that journey.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. So, so I was a pastor, and I was joking. I did not make anywhere near $250,000 a year. It was an amazing church, but we were living in Denver, Colorado, which at the time was very expensive, and neither of us had high-paying jobs, and we were broke. We were literally paycheck to paycheck every single month. It was like, hey, how are we going to make ends meet? We loved what we were doing, and we were having a blast. We loved each other. We lived in a beautiful area.
Skied 40 times a
Yeah,
year.
it was so we loved our lives, and so there was never enough like pressure to change that, I guess. But then we had our first kid. So we have 3 kids. I don't know why I had to think about that for a second, but we have
Yeah.
3 kids. We have a 5-year-old Riley, a 3-year-old Callie, and a 1-year-old Cade. And so we had
He's like one.
one. Yeah,
He's
he's
one.
one.
A little
He'll be
tank for
2 in
one.
a few weeks.
Oh yeah, no,
was fighting with me
I
today.
think a few days, right? April
days.
11th. Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
yep.
So coming up, he is a tank though. Yeah. So we have 5, 3, and 1. And Riley was born in November of 2017, and we were still like, once we had a kid, we were like even more poor because I remember we added up like we were paying for daycare. or actually we were paying for a nanny, and then we added up like what she was making, and after like paying for the nanny, it was like you were making like $2 an hour or something like that. And so all that to say, we were stressed out because of money. And then when Riley was about a year old in the fall of 2018, we gave her peanut butter for the first time. And thinking it was going to be a cute moment. I think you even recorded it. I wasn't there, thankfully, because I'd have been freaking out. But she went into anaphylactic shock.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was bad. And so, again, I wasn't there. So
how old was she when she had that?
She was about 10 months, right?
Oh, okay.
Under 8. She was 8 months.
It was, so eight months old. And started swelling up, stopped breathing. Lexi rushed her to the hospital. They EpiPenned her, hooked her up to IVs and steroids. I don't know, all this stuff. But at the time when that's going on, you're not like pulling up your insurance card and seeing like, hey, where do I need to go? Yeah. So we actually took her to a out-of-network hospital. It was actually one of those like 24-hour urgent care type places, and I don't think our insurance covered that at the time. And so we got hit with it was over $10,000 a hospital bill. It was close to $15,000, which at the time when you're paycheck to paycheck, that could be $1 million. They could have sent us $1 million bill, and it would have felt the same because $15,000 was just something that we could never have came up with. And I remember when we got that bill that night specifically, we were sitting at the dinner table and we were just talking about life, and we were like, this is not the way that we want to live life. Every time we get a hospital bill or there's a medical emergency, which hopefully is not often, but medical emergency.
A car breaks down.
Or we want to go on vacation. Like, we did not have any margin whatsoever in our lives. And so that was the night that we decided we want to do something else. We didn't know what that was. But we were like, we want to figure out like a side hustle, actually is what we thought of at the time. We want to figure out a side hustle to make more money. And so naturally, I had heard this quote that's been floating around for years of like 80 or 90% of self-made millionaires do it through real estate. And so we had zero real estate experience. I have never picked up a hammer in my life. I'm the most unhandy person that there is. But my thought was, let's do real estate. Like, that's what everybody does.
You guys didn't own your house in Denver at
We
the time.
did. So we did own our house in Denver. So we had bought our house in Denver. But outside of that, we had zero. I mean, so I guess there was experience in just buying that and going through the mortgage process and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, that matters a little bit because I think that the process of buying your first house is a little daunting for most people. I mean, I don't mean to, but yeah, I was just curious.
It gave us some confidence for sure.
Yeah.
Of,
That
okay, we know how to
do it
buy
100
a
times.
house.
That quote, by the way, I think it's Carnegie they always attribute it to, right? I think it's total actual BS. I don't think that's true in any way, shape, or form. Like, I bet you, like I don't think we should discount it because it does get a lot of people into real estate. I just see how many influencers share that all over their social medias, and I'm always like, there's no way 90% of millionaires became that way through real estate.
Maybe
it's like
90% of millionaires own real estate.
it could be that, but even that, I mean, Carnegie was 120 years ago, so even that was like unlikely. But it doesn't matter, really.
It worked for us because
right?
I was like, I want to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
And I don't have any other skills. You know, I gotta. So
if truth is a lie, but it produces what you need to get accomplished, is it okay, Alex?
No.
Okay,
Absolutely not.
Okay. What if it's on social media though?
If it's on social media, then 90% of on social media is a lie.
Yeah. Totally agreed.